we started. All right, everybody.
Okay.
What's up? Welcome to Real Ballroom Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Desoto, and I'm here with the one and only Kimberley Mitchel. We had in the claps come later. Yeah.
Round of applause.
Huge full house tonight. As you can
Everyone's
see,
going nuts.
crazy. As you can see behind us, we have a denim and diamonds event here at the Chicago Open in Fred Astaire, Illinois, and we are partying.
Yes.
Partying. I'm having a hard time saying that word, and I haven't had one drink. I really haven't. Partying. That's what we're doing. Whatever. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about.
We are doing it.
We are doing it. I'm like, can you take this interview over, please? So, Kimberley Mitchell, where do we begin? You are a dancer through and through. You've been dancing almost your entire life.
I think I came out dancing.
You came out dancing.
I did.
Now, how old were you when you started taking lessons?
Well, my parents own a dance studio in England, so I started taking actual lessons when I was 2. So my mom put me in ballet because she thought I needed discipline.
At 2?
Why.
You needed discipline at 2?
Yeah,
okay.
I really don't know why. And then I had my first ballroom dance partner at 5.
5 years old?
Yeah.
Discipline at 2. I've never even heard those words put together.
You've never met my mother.
So your mother was a dancer. She owned the studio.
My mom and dad, yes.
So let's start there first. What's their back room in ballroom dancing?
So my parents danced together as children. And then my dad is 3 years older than my mom. So my dad moved up an age category and my mom stayed down.
Okay.
So then they got together again as professionals. So they spent their amateur career with different dance partners. And both of them are British champions.
Wow. Together? Or separate?
Separately together.
Separately, okay.
Separately, they're British champions. And then they came together as pros, and then I came along and put paint to all of it.
Oh my gosh.
Done. We are done with that.
So they were champions, and they had you. Are you an only child? Do you have siblings?
I have a younger brother. He's 4 years younger than me. Doesn't dance, but he was in the military. So
okay. So you were the golden child. You had to carry.
He was the golden child. I was the one that they knew how to dance, so they pushed me and made me. Whereas my brother was a swimmer and into soccer.
Well, I meant golden child in the ballroom business.
Heck yeah.
You had to carry the torch.
Yes.
And you had to carry the torch, and you didn't really have any other options but to be successful.
No, I haven't. Up until now, I really wouldn't know what else I would have done.
Right.
If I didn't dance.
And if your mom put you in classes at 2 because you needed discipline, ballroom partner at 5, she had high expectations for you. And did that, when you were young, growing up and taking those lessons, was she very strict on you with the well, tell us a little bit about that.
So my dad was a yeller and a screamer when he was teaching. My mom is very hands-on. So she would tie my hair up in a really high ponytail and pull on it and make me stand up and stick her nails in my ribs. And I think that's where I get it from. So anybody that I have taught up until now, blame my mother, because I'm not apologizing.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Now, you say nails, you mean like fingernails?
Yeah.
Okay, I was making sure they weren't nails. Okay.
No, like hammer nails. Like
so they were very strict on you, but you got the results because of it.
They knew what we had to go through and what we had to do in order to become a champion. So I don't regret any of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when did you decide to come over to the U.S.?
So I actually moved to San Francisco the middle of 97.
1997.
Yeah.
Great year.
The 1900s.
Wow. That sounds, that's great. Yeah.
Whatever the kids are saying these days. So I moved to San Francisco to dance youth with a boy at the time that still lives there. And I danced, I think, for 2-3 months with him, and danced the international championships with him, and danced USBC,
yeah, at that time,
and
there was a B in there at that point, yeah.
And that was when Bill Sparks was looking for a dance partner. So my coaches and his coaches were the same coaches. And he was sat watching all of the competitions, and apparently I was the only lady girl on the floor that he couldn't be better than.
That's what his words or
his
the coaches?
Words.
That he couldn't be better than.
I mean, he's a damn good girl.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But he couldn't be better than me.
That took a lot for him to say that.
Yeah. Kinda. So we had a tryout, and I ended up moving to Ohio. Mm-hmm. So I moved to Ohio in October, and then we danced the Ohio Star Ball in November after 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah.
1 month later?
Yeah. So I was dancing under 21
with a different partner.
Yeah, I was 19, went straight into pro and danced the Ohio
1 month
Star
later,
Ball.
you danced with Bill Sparks.
Yeah.
And how did you guys do?
I think we came third.
You made the final.
Yes. That was
well, you say it like, yeah, like that's not heard of very often.
That was the first, the year that Bill and I did Hound Dog, and he came out with a dog leash on, and YouTube have taken it down.
Why?
I don't know. It's no longer, I think it's inappropriate.
Politically incorrect somehow?
If anybody out there has got that video, can you please send it to me? Because
you don't have it?
No.
So wait, you were on the leash, or he was on the leash?
He was on the leash.
He said I'll do it. Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, he's on the leash.
Hound dog. So after 1 month, you guys danced together. You practiced 3, 4, 5 weeks max.
Yep.
And you made the final, and you took third.
Yeah.
Wow. And just to go back before we continue, who are the coaches, by the way, that you guys both shared?
So we had a few European coaches. So obviously Sam Sedano was our main coach here in the United States. And then Alan and Hazel Fletcher, Michael Stylianos and Lorna Lee, and Graham Oswick. And then throughout our career, we had Colin James and Lorraine. So
awesome.
Yeah, we had some pretty awesome people.
So after you made the final, took third at Ohio, I mean, you guys had to be feeling pretty good and confident at that point in the future.
Yeah, I think it was more of I had no idea what I'd gotten myself into. Well, in Europe, you dance juvenile, and then you age out and you go to junior, and then you age out and you go to youth, and then you dance amateur.
Okay.
And when you win amateur, then you turn professional. So I kind of missed out on the amateur. And
you have to win or place really high in amateur before you go to pro.
So I went, we're just gonna forget about amateur, turn straight to pro, and let's do this.
And what do you think is the biggest difference between doing the amateur and going over to pro?
In the grand scheme of things, probably nothing.
Mm-hmm. Maybe mentally?
Yeah, I mean, you can teach and you can earn your money different ways.
As a pro, you can actually teach and make money. Amateur,
I think in amateur, it's a little bit freer. As soon as you turn pro, then you take your exams, and you are supposed to know what you're talking about and what you're feeling and what you're doing. Whereas, amateur is like, I don't care.
Just they can do it. Right.
This is who I am.
So after that first month, what was the next year? What was the mindset in the next year? What was the goal?
I am a very competitive person in anything.
Okay.
And so that we won we danced the Ohio Star Ball, and then the following year was our first year winning USDC. So we became national champions that year after.
So it was like within a year and a half, 2 years, basically.
Well, it was it was less than a year.
So that following September,
yeah. So
you became national champions.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be that easy.
I'm good. What can I say?
Well, what about Bill Sparks? He's good too.
He's good too. Yeah.
So let's think about this, because you've got a lot of pros watching this and wondering, okay, that was quick, but it doesn't happen that quick. What did you do, and what did Bill do? It was a lot before the partnership to get to that point. Because how do you do that? How do you get there?
You don't just wake up and become a champion. And
no.
The whole hard work and talent and we can all be talented, but there's hard work. I mean, I moved here when I was 18, turning 19. I moved away from my family. I moved to a different country. It's nice that everybody speaks English English here.
Right.
But it was still a completely different.
Sure.
It was a different
It's not
country,
home, yeah.
and we spent 5, 6, 7 hours a day practicing, working, taking lessons, traveling. I think every weekend, every other weekend, we were at a different competition. We were doing shows, so we were honing our skills. It wasn't just, well, we'll go into the ballroom and just have a little. We practiced at a fitness center, and they had big glass.
Yeah.
A big glass wall.
Yeah.
And I'd go to the bathroom and get changed, and all of these little old ladies would say, "Oh, I would just love to be able to dance all day."
Right.
And I'm sweating,
Yeah.
and taping my feet up because they're all cracked and broken, and so it's, if you want it, then you do whatever it takes.
And whatever it takes sounds like it was your full-time job, because
Yeah.
a lot of pros, you know, they teach all day
Yeah.
and then they have the practice, so it's hard to find the balance. But it sounds like that was your job.
It was. Bill had already done quite a few years of Pro-Am, and obviously I had come from youth, which we don't do Pro-Am in the youth category. So he jumped at the chance to he knew that I was going to be his last partner, and this was going to be his last hurrah. So it was all or nothing. So dive in from morning until night. We'd wake up, we'd go to the gym, we'd work out, we'd come home, we'd go back to the gym where we were training. So we would dance for 5 hours, we'd come home just for fun. We'd go to the gym afterwards.
Yeah. So you say you go to the gym, like working out, as well as the dance ballroom practice?
Yeah. How we get ourselves fit for the real world is one thing, and how we get ourselves fit for the dancing world is another.
Right.
So we were making sure that we were well-rounded in everything.
So we should have talked about that before you said, hey, we got together, and 4 weeks later we became third, and then within a year we won the championship.
I mean, those 4 weeks, we just went in and were like, yeah, let's do this.
But that really is a testimony to all in, as you said, and if you want it, you do whatever it takes. There's no getting around the work and put it in the hours.
No, and I think for me, if I had to do the Pro-Am, then it's knowing what your body needs, knowing what your student needs, and still honing your skill, because your student's going to need it just on a different level.
Right.
So it's not what we do today working with our students is something that's completely different. We can still work on our feet, we can work on our posture, we can work on our balance, we can work on our stamina. So don't think that just because you're teaching all day that you get to not do anything.
And and when you judge a lot, you judge Fred Astaire Independence, big comps, you do a lot, and you see a lot of Pro-Am teachers.
Yeah.
And what do you think when you see those teachers not giving 100%? Do you think they should be dancing down, or?
I think, so as a judge, we don't care. My job is to put my likes and dislikes on a piece of paper and mark what I see. And at the end of the day, I want to be able to sleep at night. So what you bring to the floor, whoever's out there, I'm going to mark it. And if you don't give 110%, then
you don't get the mark.
Yeah, you can't be angry and say, well, I'm just in it for the fun, and then go home and cry.
Well, I'm talking about the teachers. So if the student's giving their best, but you see a teacher who's a knockout, great ballroom teacher, Latin, whatever, and you see him giving less effort, almost disinterested, does that affect the way you score them?
I think I'm always going to still be able to look at the students and compare students. Unfortunately, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth for that teacher. So they will probably have to really come out swinging in the open when they dance with their partner.
Yeah.
If they've danced all day, disinterested, yelling and screaming at their students.
Yeah.
Just not dancing off time. Don't even get me started with that one. So
last place? Not even last place, just a thumbs down.
I don't even.
She's like, I don't even mark them. They don't even get marked.
Thumb down.
Look at Declan, he's like this. He's like, it was one mambo. Just kidding. So, so give a little advice to those dancers out there who are competing right now, students, professionals. What's one thing you look for that really makes you go, you know what? That person stands out. They're going to get my mark tonight.
I mean, every judge has a checklist, and we all pretty much have the same posture, presence, performance, musicality. But for me, it's realness.
Realness?
Yeah. I don't want to see someone that has just copied a YouTube video. I don't want to see someone that's copied mannerisms. I want to see who you are and your interpretation of that piece of music. So when you come out and you've laid everything on the floor and you can say, that's it, I just left it all out on the floor, then what else is there?
Now, do you like, kind of going off that, do you like let's say somebody's doing that and people have different styles. So they're letting it all out and doing their realness is one style, and then the other person's a different style. How do you factor those? Do you have a specific style? I mean, you have a style in your dancing. So do you tend to go more towards that style, or do you go, you know what? I appreciate that style just as much. I'm marking that. It could be completely different.
I think in our business, there's what works and what doesn't work. And in the grand scheme of things, everybody's trying to get to the same goal, but how we get there is completely different. And if it's not awkward looking, and I can read it, understand it, and you're consistent with it, and I believe it, then I don't care what you do. Bring it out, stand on one foot. If it's fabulous, I will definitely mark it.
So whatever style you have, be real to your style and sell that style.
Exactly.
I love that. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Because that gives everybody the opportunity.
And that's how I think it should be. That's what ballroom dancing is.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some place for everybody.
That's awesome. Well said. Now let me ask you one more kind of deep question.
Oh my.
You think about a little bit. You've been in this business since you were 2.
Yep.
And you're still in this business. You're obviously a lifer, right? Why do you continue to stay in this business? What about this business do you love the most that keeps you coming back and keeps you interested in it after all these years?
I think it's definitely a twofer. I love how much joy ballroom dancing brings to people. The selfish part is I love how my words when I'm coaching and just little tweaks can make somebody feel different, can understand it, can feel their body, and can bring out what they were trying to portray. For me, I just love dancing. I like showing off.
You're a showman. You like to perform.
Yeah, I'm a performer. I don't want any of the other stuff. I just want to get out there. The moment that the music comes on, and if somebody calls my name, I'm there.
I love it. I love it. That's a great answer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Kimberly Mitchel, we got to get to know her a little bit. We got some insight on how to get the edge, how to get ahead and be successful in this business. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for watching Ballroom Real Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Desoto. Once again, Kimberly Mitchel, thank you so much. See you when I see ya. Hit it, maestro.